What's going to take to get us out of this crypto winter?
Oh, it would take a lot, I think. And I don't see any events or anything happening anytime soon. I guess it's going to be more like creeping sideways somewhere between 18 and 20K. Again, also Bitcoin can always have a quick bounce because it's also oversold. But at some point, I expect rather that this 18K support level will break. And then we could actually lose quickly another 30, 40, 50%. And I see the 10K level. There is an open gap in the Bitcoin future, slightly below 10K. That's right now my main expectation.
So 10K is your new support line for Bitcoin, and you see that breaking as well?
That would be the worst case. Then we're going to go back to 6K. But right now, I think 10K is already painful enough.
Cryptocurrencies have had a major down year. If they were a financially sound stock and you were a long-term investor, that would make this as good a time as any to buy. But cryptocurrency markets don't act like the stock market, making it difficult to assess if and when crypto will ever recover. Basically, every cryptocurrency has been down in value for a while now. The crypto crash all started a few months back for a variety of reasons. Part of it is the same set of conditions that have affected stocks and economies generally. The war in Ukraine worries about inflation and higher interest rates. These global issues also hit cryptocurrencies. They are part of the economy after all. Crypto winter is a term similar to a bear market in the stock market. A crypto winter signifies a protracted period of low asset prices compared to recent peaks. As of this writing, crypto prices are down significantly from 2021 highs. The crash of Bitcoin and the general crypto industry had led many acclaimed and self-acclaimed experts to give different predictions relating to the king crypto. Florian Grummes, an independent financial analyst, advisor, consultant, trader, and investor, as well as an international speaker with more than 25 years of experience in financial markets. Florian is well known for combining technical, fundamental, and sentiment analysis into one often accurate conclusion about the markets. In a recent interview with Kitco News, Florian Grummes shared insights into his thought on the crypto market and why he believes the market is yet to see the lows in regards to the price of Bitcoin. Before we listen to him, we want to thank all our viewers and subscribers for watching our videos. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate you so much.
No, we are in a crypto winter, as you rightly said, and they have always been painful. The crypto sector is a boom and bust sector like no other. So you have these a few thousand% on the upside, but you also have these retracements of 80, 90%. Most of the altcoins are down 90, 95, even some 99%. And it's always been like this, and unfortunately it's the same this time. And it's needed because there's been so much scam and so much bad projects in the sector. And we have to have a time where they are all basically are getting weeded out. So that's the process we're in right now. It's very painful, I understand, especially for people who are fully invested, hodling through this winter. But at the end of it will hopefully bring a new bull market at some point. Usually those crypto winters last 20 to 27 months. So we are in, roughly speaking, a year, maybe a little bit less. So expect another half a year at least, maybe a year. And then the Bitcoin halving in 2024, I think, will bring some light and it's maybe the start of a new bull market.
Okay, let's focus back. So firstly, we need to cleanse some of the irrational exuberance, if you will, from the markets. We're seeing a Bitcoin 6K support line is not beyond the realms of possibility, is what you're saying.
It's my worst case right now. I wouldn't rule it out. I think 10K is probably what's going to happen, and then we're going to see a nice bounce, a recovery rally, and maybe then another test of the 10 to 15K range, like a double low at some point, and that would be then the final end of the crypto winter. But it still takes time. I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
We do have the Bitcoin halving in around 562 days, give or take, May 2024.
Right.
Do you see Bitcoin able to hit back its all-time high by then of 69,000?
No.
No.
By then, no. But if this whole crypto sector can recover like it should or did in the past, then yes, once the halving has happened, the whole sector very likely will be in a new bull market, and then it's a question of time until we take out the all-time high. But it will take some more time. And you have to also understand in the bigger picture, Bitcoin has been going up since 2009 relentlessly in the end of the day, right? Very volatile, sharp pullbacks, but it went up like crazy. And maybe it takes a little bit more this time to digest this big move over the last 12, 13 years, right? It could take a few more years maybe, who knows? And fundamentally speaking, it would be more regulation, of course. That could be basically preventing a real new bull market. But this is all early out. We're in a bear market right now. We're in a liquidity crisis. And I think people should really be patient.
You're saying that you see regulation as a negative for Bitcoin, because we've had a lot of people come on the show saying that regulation will create clarity, that will open the way for institutional investors to get in, and that it should be a positive for Bitcoin, and some of the larger altcoins, Bitcoin and Ethereum at least, would benefit from clearer regulation. You think on the contrary?
Yeah, it's a two-sided sword, I think. On the one hand, yes, it's needed, more regulation, more clarity, as you said rightly. But at the same time, I don't think governments want to see Bitcoin succeeding. And if this whole talk about CBDCs, I mean, we have to expect that they're coming with something in the next few years. And if that's happening, we're all going to be digital slaves of the central banks. And I don't see the crypto sector being strong enough and united enough at the moment to really put something against that. Instead, it's so fragmented. As I said already, there's so much scam and so much bad players and projects that are just not good in the market. And there has been so much greed and so much speculation. So I hope that at some point we will find this way towards decentralization and DeFi, because it could take mankind into a better future. But so far the promise has not been fulfilled, I would have to say. And if governments want to regulate Bitcoin really hardcore, it would mean, yes, Bitcoin, the network itself is decentralized. You could trade it via satellites with some other freaks, but not the vast majority of people will be able to do that. So we are far away from a mass adoption.
So you still see regulation as an existential threat to Bitcoin, especially considering the fact that, as you say, governments are going to be pushing for central bank digital currencies, and Bitcoin perhaps threatens that agenda.
Yes, it does. It does. And it's the big question. I mean, let's see who's in the end of the day faster, but what's going on right now, we are for sure in the end game of this financial system. And if the Fed at some point will be forced to pivot next year maybe, then we are back on the road to a cracker boom, to hyperinflation. If they continue to use the sledgehammer and push interest rates higher like they are doing since 10 months, it's going to be a big depression like the 1930s.
Where do you see Bitcoin in 12 years' time then?
In 12 years?
Yes.
It's the big question. If we figure out a way that Bitcoin can continue to prosper, and I think the Middle East here has a big benefit in helping it, then I think it can be easily traded a few $100,000 or even a few $1 million, because by then likely the Federal Reserve would have had to print a lot of dollars out of thin air. However, if they continue with their CBDCs and really manage to bring us into digital slavery, I don't know if Bitcoin plays any role anymore. So we really have to see. It's a question. It's a very important question for mankind that we're facing over the next few years, and I wouldn't take that lightly.
And while this might offer little hope in the midst of a lot of gloom, it seems that the general appetite for crypto is still there. New cryptos launch daily. People who made profit before the crash are starting companies, and even football teams are still getting involved. Man City launched a partnership with OKX recently, which will be on the shirts next season. There are also advancements within technology like NFTs and NFT marketplaces, and that mind-boggling thing called the metaverse. Crypto will likely course correct from its current downward trajectory, but there's also a good chance that this might take some time, probably a few years before it can get back to its all-time high. So if you're riding the crypto wave, make sure you're strapped in tight. Running with bulls and bears is never going to be an easy ride. Even though it still seems like there's growing demand and exposure, there's still loads of risks involved. Never invest what you can't afford to lose. Thanks for watching our videos. Till our next video, please stay savvy.